All right, after a very long break, it seems like we haven't made an episode in a month. The gang is all here.
Oh, yeah.
Stretched out all over North Jersey. We're all here.
Yes.
For the first time on an episode together in God knows how long.
Oh, it's been forever.
So everybody just say hi. I mean, how we living? I mean, quarantine without sports.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Definitely sucks.
Pretty rough,
Yeah.
man. I'll tell you that much.
Well, we got
I'm leading a dynasty with Hawaii football in NCAA 13.
See, that's the point we're at.
We won the Sun Bowl my first year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite the achievement with Hawaii.
Got a 3-star tight end. That's my top recruit. It's kind of tough to bring boys to Hawaii.
I don't understand why. You just got to get them to the island. Once you get them to the island, they're never going to leave the island. Like ever.
That's how it works, huh?
See, yeah, but here's the problem.
Well, they can't. Like legally.
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to get out of here, but I got a 3-year deal with the school, so
contract.
Once that's
get
over
out of here with that. Get out of here.
Contracts, I know.
The contract.
All right. Well, speaking of contracts, Tom Brady is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Something that we talked about
God, it's
a
been
little
that
bit
long
before we went on this break.
The bad man is gone.
So, John, as a Jets fan, seeing Tom Brady now out of the AFC East, how are you handling it?
The boogeyman is out of my closet, man. I'm so happy.
Now you got to worry about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I don't have to look underneath my bed and have like a fear that like Brady's like hiding underneath there to like scare me when I'm sleeping. So.
No. Instead, Trish is now hiding underneath your bed to make sure you're sleeping.
John, can I just say it's filthy under there?
You're not obeying the social distancing rules by being right to do.
Oh man, it's gonna be strange seeing him in a different uniform, and he's going to a very tough division in the NFC South.
Uniform. I wouldn't even call it a different uniform. It's their same uniform from like 6 years ago.
They have new uniforms.
New.
I meant as a team, not like Brady on a different team. Not
I know.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm just saying. Nice, I'm just saying that those uniforms are literally like 7 years old, and then they're like, oh wait, it's the new uniforms.
Let's take a look at the NFC South real quick, because now we have 4 teams that all believe they have some kind of shot to make some sort of run, especially now Carolina having their new quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. Atlanta always thinks Matt Ryan can get the job done, even though he really isn't able to. And the New Orleans Saints are really on their last chance here with Drew Brees as quarterback, because he was really considering retirement. Actually told some other players at the Pro Bowl back in February that he was retiring and ended up coming back for one more season.
He's hungry for that other last playoff run. I know it.
Yeah.
I think Drew Brees is maybe a year or two left in the tank.
Should have been in the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 4 years.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kyle's Rams had
we're
little
talking
thing
about
to
the
do
Rams.
with that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, a little.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nope, it was a no call. It was a great play.
Yeah, bullshit.
Speaking of your Rams,
I don't want to
your logo. What's going on?
It's so bad.
Oh yeah, that's a horrible logo.
Yeah,
you make the whole stadium.
It literally looks like the Chargers logo, and it feels like Tony sent it to me on Twitter, where it wasn't official, but it was like as a hat, and I was like, "There's no way, like this is just a joke." Like this is like I would have rather just had them put like Rams. And, like,
you build this whole stadium based off the logo.
I know.
Exactly like
we're not even using it anymore.
It makes no sense.
When I first saw it, I thought that was the LA Chargers logo.
I did like one of the alternate logos.
I didn't see any alternate ones.
Did you guys hear that apparently some college coach came out and said that they stole their logo?
Really?
Wait, no, I'm sorry. It was a high school coach.
Kyle, the alternate logo you're talking about is the ram with the gold horns.
Yeah, I have it as my phone background.
I do. I like that. I like that.
That's a cool logo.
That one's
the new logo was a high school logo, and this coach came out. I think it was like last week at some point, and he said that he's had that logo since like 2017. He's got receipts. He was posting it on the internet. It was hilarious.
I find it.
And then Boomer and Gio were talking about it. They're like, don't they have people like this is a multi-million-dollar corporation? Don't they have people that like check that kind of shit? And make sure if they're going to change the logo, but they're not ripping anybody off.
I
least-
don't think it's that big.
I mean, listen, y'all could have been the Chargers who said they changed their logo, but really didn't.
Yeah.
They just kind of like elongated it a bit.
You
Tom,
guys
I
been
have your
seeing-
championship ring.
Have you guys
Ring.
been seeing that shit on like social media? Like the Chargers keep hyping up their new jerseys, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, these new jerseys!" When everyone sees them, they're gonna lose their shit when they like premiere them tomorrow or whatever.
Aren't they just going back to the powder blue?
I haven't heard anything about like what they're going to be yet. It's just like all their players. They posted some shit on socials today. All of them like reacting like, "Oh shit, new jerseys!" Like I don't know. Chargers though, who cares?
Yeah.
Honestly, they have 4 fans. They just
Okay.
lost
Kyle.
over half their fan base because Philip Rivers
What?
is now a Colt.
Kyle,
That's
how
true.
are the Rams? They've already fucked up their logo. How are they going to fuck up these new jerseys? Is that even like, has that crossed your mind that you guys could fuck up your jerseys too? You're not going to be Atlanta because those are terrible. Outside of the throwback, those jerseys are terrible. But
Yeah.
is there any fear
I have
you
a
guys fuck
feeling.
up the jerseys?
Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna be like Atlanta because like they're trying to do like the new age, like the new, like almost kind of like a futuristic style jersey, and I think
Yeah.
we're just gonna look fucking stupid. Like I don't know what you're. I would have rather preferred them go with the alternate logo with the ram and then keep the old school colors of like the white and navy blue. Like I thought that was a really good look, or the gold, or the old school gold and blue. You know.
Old school
You
gold and
can't-
blue would be dope.
They
Yeah.
can't get rid of that helmet style. That helmet style is iconic with the horn
Oh,
on the
they
helmet.
better not.
I honestly think it's one of the better helmets like in the league, like more stylish, like better looking. Because like it's interesting. It's not like say like the Jets where it just says like Jets. Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm not
The
saying
Bills are the
Jets have
same
an ugly
way.
helmet. Yeah. Like what's
There's
it called?
a bunch of teams that just the name on it.
Well, it's almost like in my opinion, like it's like an iconic helmet, like the Rams, and there's like the Steelers where it's like the black, the yellow logo. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
The Browns.
I'm
where it's
hoping the
just,
Patriots
brown
start using
helmet,
that
the
old.
orange stripe.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to start using that old stripe because they just
Old
you see their
stripe
new
with the
jerseys. Yeah,
yeah.
did you see their new
Yeah,
jerseys? It's
they
exactly
made a
like the
white
old
version
ones.
of their color rushes. They're away.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I hope they use the helmets with the fucking the guy
And-
snapping the ball.
It was.
That one's
It
cool,
came
yeah.
out
That'd be
on
cool.
the NFL shop today. They put the red jersey, a Julian Edelman one, up for sale. So I'm guessing they would go back to that
They probably could.
as an alternate of some sort.
Yeah.
Now the Browns jerseys are pretty nice. I mean, they went old school,
It's-
but it was better than what they had.
It's I mean then now they're like making like their color rush uni like their home uni like that's I mean I don't it's just the same thing with like the Buccaneers. It's like the same thing that they had.
What do you think of the Falcons though? With the
I don't
what's
like
with the
it.
what's
I
with the
think it's
gradient?
To be
terrible.
honest with you, I don't mind the one where it's like red,
half
where
red,
it's like
half black.
red here and then it comes up to
The
black.
gradient.
Yeah, I don't mind that
I
one.
think that's kind of
I
a
don't
good
really
look.
like that one.
Listen,
know
I
what,
like
Tom?
the one.
They didn't
Okay.
ask.
Is it, like,
They look like an
It's,
XFL team.
They do
Adam
actually.
Sandler from
Right
Long
back
Shot.
That
Well,
would be next.
They do
Oh,
look
that's
like
true.
those, Trish.
That is true, Trish. They look like the long shot jerseys. Yeah, that's so fact.
That-
Speaking. Oh, go ahead, Trish. Go ahead.
I
gotta
love
say?
those jerseys because I love that movie, and Adam Sandler in that film plays a fantastic quarterback. May I just say? But
He's
Yeah.
slaying the rock.
my main problem
Speaking-
with all of these.
Speaking of, John, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but
I'm trying to
my
transition.
my main problem with all these jersey reveals is like every video is the exact fucking same. It's like the strobe lights, the black video, like a shadowy figure wearing the jersey in the distance. You can barely see what the fucking jersey looks like until you go on Twitter and then you go in the comments and it's like, oh yeah, these are the photos.
Hell,
That's what
hell
happened
of
with
a
the
job.
Browns.
Yeah.
Hell of a job done by the Rams owner who saw the leak come out of the hat logo and went, "That's not our logo. That's not
Changed it.
official." And then leaked it and then it came out like a day later and it wasn't the
No.
logo.
The
I
ultimate
don't know how they're
bamboozle.
like. I don't know how they're like leaking the hats and stuff. That's what I'll never understand.
Some
Yeah.
guy who's transporting merchandise
Oh
sees
yeah, it probably does.
uploads it.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't
said
doubt
the Falcons jerseys look like XFL jerseys, and when we stopped, the XFL was still a thing, and now it's not, as they've
oh,
declared
Ah.
bankruptcy
So
and are
sad.
looking for a buyer.
Luckily, we got
I think
XFL ball
someone will
before.
buy it. I think someone will buy it.
It was doing good on the ratings. Like
They
I feel
are
like there's
they are getting interest from outside buyers to purchase the league.
just don't sell it to that fucker Dundon.
Yeah,
Fuck
fuck
that guy.
Dundon.
Fuck
I don't think he would try again after
no way.
No, he messed up
fumbling
the
the
first time.
AAF the way he did.
The
He did so
AAF
bad
lasted
with the
more
AAF.
weeks than the XFL.
That's
That's
so
true.
sad.
Yeah, what were
'Cause
the odds of
XFL was
that?
doing
Right?
so
Yeah, but
good.
the XFL was so much better than the
It
AFL.
was.
Oh, most
Ridiculous.
definitely.
Oh yeah,
They sold out the stadium in St. Louis,
they sold
Yeah,
out the
that
upper
one time.
deck of the stadium.
No, they didn't sell out the stadium. They sold out the bottom bowl.
which is
They
still
sold
it's
out
a
the bottom
major
bowl.
accomplishment for something like that.
Every
The
time a
Rams could never
section
do
would
that.
every time a section
Washington
would
was
sell
getting
out.
good. Washington was getting good crowds too.
Every time a
Yeah.
section
Yeah,
would
yeah.
sell out at the St. Louis Stadium, once they filled up the lower bowl for their next game, which never happened because the league stopped, they were opening up sections in the upper bowl. And
Oh, they
they
probably
sold
could've.
out, like, I think it was 2/3 of the upper bowl, and the game just didn't happen
Damn,
because the league folded, ceased operations.
Oh no!
that's terrible.
Since we haven't been without sports now for what, isn't it 6 weeks now?
I think it's there. Yeah,
Around that?
around 6-7 weeks.
Have our
Yeah.
opinions of Rudy Gobert changed?
Nah, fuck
No.
that guy.
He's the one who started all
No,
this
he's a piece of
bullshit.
shit.
He touched some microphones, and now I can't watch the Devils not be in the playoffs.
Can I just say something though? The man was trying to make light of a serious situation. He was trying to just be
In a
that
dumb
guy
way.
who was like, "No, I don't."
It only looks bad because he had it.
Yeah, but that's
If he
the
didn't
thing.
have
like,
it, this wouldn't have looked bad.
he didn't
Oh, yeah.
know he had
Everyone's
it when
trying
he
to make a
touched those
big
mics.
deal. Everyone's trying to make it like a big deal of like Donovan Mitchell. Like now he got like, oh, like are you guys still gonna be boys? And then you're kind of like, I mean, like it's like he like meant to give him the Rona, you know?
Yeah,
He didn't do it on
Like
purpose.
I think Donovan Mitchell's kind of being a little bit of a baby about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Rudy Gobert's an idiot for like licking the microphone. Like that's
Yeah, like
that's disgusting in general. Like that's just normal cleanliness. Like, that's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, come on.
But also, I do think that Donovan Mitchell kind of needs to like. It's a mistake. It's not like he was like, "Oh, hey, Don." Like,
yeah,
no, like,
he didn't
it's
give
not
it to
how
him purposely. He didn't know he had it at the time.
Reports
but
came out
that's
of
the-
Utah that during practices and stuff, what was it? Rudy Gobert would be touching Donovan Mitchell, and a few occasions he'd like kiss his forehead and stuff.
Oh my god.
And then, I mean, it's a bad look when it comes
Yeah.
out that you actually have the coronavirus, and you led to the downfall of North American sports, at least for the
See,
time
but the
being.
Yeah.
thing we can be thankful for is that these guys are young, they're healthy, they're not. None of them are really having major issues with it, like we're seeing across the country with hundreds of people dying, thousands of people dying. from
Hundreds
this
of people
disease in the
dying.
United
There's more than
States.
hundreds.
You know what?
people
You know what,
dying.
Zach? All right, shut up.
We're way
No.
past the hundreds there, buddy.
All right, calm down. Jersey's past the hundreds. They're in the like 4,000 now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We've
Now,
had
when it comes-
80,000 cases.
Now, when it comes to leagues restarting, a few ideas have been kicked around. The NFL draft is happening Thursday, virtually, and they
Very
had
excited for
a
that.
Yeah.
they had a trial run today, and there were problems on the first overall pick. It lagged when the
I mean-
Bengals were trying to make their pick.
Oh boy.
I don't think it's. I mean, that's like
I think they'll figure it out by
That's-
Thursday.
Yeah.
exactly. They're just making a big deal about it to have news, you know, and like, oh, like it's gonna. Like, no, honestly, in all reality, it's probably not gonna bug out by Thursday.
I mean,
To
I
be
know
fair,
it's
it
not.
seems like they figured it out by a little bit later on in that draft because John Elway said everything after that went smoothly.
Oh, really?
So
They
yeah,
And I
actually
mean,
did do
The
a trial
WNBA.
run.
Yeah,
I was about to
WNBA
say.
did it online last week, and I don't think they had many problems. So maybe, I mean,
Oh, you watched the WNBA draft?
I didn't, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, no, they were
You-
talking
you-
about it.
you
on
gonna
the
watch
fan
it?
today.
Yeah, my New York Liberty just got Sabrina Ionesco. What's up?
Yeah, and the Knicks
What's
can't
up?
get
basketball
shit.
player in New York.
From the two
Exactly.
people that watched the WNBA draft, I heard it went very well from the two people who actually saw it.
No, so
Thank you,
watching
John.
ESPN.
Classic joke. Nice.
Really sitting here slandering the WNBA. At least
Yeah.
they're giving us something.
Yeah, exactly.
They are. They are.
See those New York
Listen.
Liberty new uniforms?
No,
My
no, I
God.
didn't see those.
They got a whole new color scheme and everything. They're like trying to separate themselves from the Knicks as much as humanly possible. Which can you blame?
Right thing to do. Right thing to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, definitely the
Did
right
you
thing
see
to do.
that actually the Taiwanese Baseball Association has had games
Yes,
with no
dude, it's
fans?
awesome.
Yeah, they put
And-
robots in the
Yes.
stadium.
They had a benches clearing brawl the other night.
I
Yeah,
saw
they
that.
did.
That's fantastic.
What you love to see
Pitcher
in
was
times
getting
like
a little
this.
too close to the batter for the batter's liking. Batter went after the pitcher. Then the whole bench cleared from the pitcher's team, and the batter was just going to go after all of them. And then the whole bench cleared from the batter's team, and then everything just went to hell.
We're starting to get reports in about league plans when it comes to resuming, CBS Sports put out something today saying that the MLB is looking at a proposal that would span over 3 states with a hub being in Texas to start the MLB season. The NHL's kicked around plans to play games in Manchester, New Hampshire, South Dakota, and Saskatchewan in an attempt to restart their season because they've said they want to finish out the regular season before jumping right into the playoffs. And I know Vegas was considered an option for the NBA if they were looking to restart their season, but that seems to be like the one league where
They might not do it.
it might
definitely.
not happen this
Yeah.
year. They really don't want to risk the rest of this season
Well, the thing with the NBA
and put
too
the
is
next season at risk.
there's so many players in the NBA that do have it and are around people that did have it. So like more than NHL and MLB, obviously. So it's probably one of the bigger sports that it probably won't come back.
See, I think they're going about this all wrong. I think what they need to do is just find one state, and I'm saying for each sport. So say the MLB, they were talking about going to Arizona. What they should do is they should test every player and whoever they want to bring. So for fucking, I think they were saying that Mike Trout was worried because he's supposed to have a kid being born soon. He didn't want to go into quarantine.
Yeah,
and not
there's
be
a
able to
bunch of
see the birth
players
his son.
expecting kids. There's like 5 or
So-
6, I think.
What they need to do is just test the players and their families, have them self-quarantine for 2 weeks. When everyone comes back clean, anybody that is needed to be at the field or on the ice for the game to go on, then put them all in a big like hotel compound, like area, a town, where no one else can have contact with them except for the team and their families. And then just have them go from there to the sporting event, play the game, and go home. No fans, no nothing, just them and the game. It's going to be weird. It's going to be, like, awkward, but at
We
least
need it
we'll
at this
have
point.
baseball and
Yeah, but
basketball
Trish,
and hockey.
Trish,
and
the
all
thing
this
is
stuff
though,
back.
is that's a lot easier said than done because
Yeah.
because it's going to be it would be such a large process.
Think about all the
And then
players
you have
that
to
you have
make
to.
deals.
No, I understand, but it's these are the biggest sports in the country. If anyone can do it, it's them. They have the money for it. Baseball,
No, I
especially, they
totally
have
agree. But this isn't like all right. Let's start this on Monday. Figure it out by Friday. Like this would have to be like a month process, which I'm sure they've already been working on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
no.
saying it'd be quick. I'm just saying I don't think it's smart going, okay, we're going to go to Texas and this state and that state and then play out of there. Because now you're risking all these different people having to get on planes, fly to different areas, be in contact with more people.
And
Just
even with
because
the
they're baseball players doesn't mean they don't have to go through security and stuff.
and staying with the baseball thing is like everybody's gonna have to want to do it, and maybe a majority are gonna have to want to do it. But like you could still get like a player like Mike Trout, say if their family can't go with them, to choose not to do it.
Another
'cause-
reason why you shouldn't be transfer like going over state lines, because now, like, how are you going to keep bringing your family back and forth? If you put them up in like a penthouse, like a condo or something.
Well, I
where
just mean
them and their family
overall.
could be there.
Overall,
No, I
Trout
know.
might say, "Oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do any of the season if we're going to do it quarantined in Arizona." And I know Wheeler and a couple other people expecting babies have already said that.
Yeah,
Now,
I
with-
understand.
With all the leagues that have stopped, I feel like basketball players have been the least vocal about wanting to get back as soon as humanly possible. We have
Gobert.
NHL players coming out like Max Pacioretty said he'll play anywhere. Baseball players like Trevor Bauer said he'll play in Arizona. He does not
Yeah.
care. He just wants to play. Now, I think that when it comes to, let's say, ending this season and focusing primarily on starting next season, making sure that goes off without a hitch, the NBA is suited for that because I think financially they're in the best situation. There will be that much interest. Whereas if we stop the NHL season and say we're just going to the next season, I don't know how well the NHL would survive not having a playoff, which is their biggest
Oh, yeah,
money maker. And with the MLB, I think they need to have games played. And there's also problems with advertising. People at companies have paid to have their name out there, and now teams owe them money back, or leagues owe them money back because they're not able to get their names advertised all over these games.
And think about
I
all the
think
people with
that's-
season tickets and stuff like, especially
Mhm.
baseball season tickets. I know the Mets haven't even paid anybody who bought season tickets a dime yet. You know, like
Well,
they're
that's the interesting thing about a lot of this, like how we're gonna reacclimate, and I think that goes beyond sports. I think that's everywhere. Like, how are we gonna restart the economy of the United States? Once you shut that shit down, it's not easy to just
you
like
can't just
kickstart
snap
it
your
again.
fingers and have
Yeah.
it go up again.
So I think that this is going to be a struggle for the entire country and the world, really,
And,
just trying to restart things.
I'm sticking with baseball just because like they haven't started yet. But like, think if like maybe they just scrap this season and maybe do like say that towards the end of the year, like midsummer, they could do like a small tournament style thing to just end up doing that instead of trying to rush in a full season or like a quarter of a season for no reason, and maybe getting guys injured and quarantining them for no reason if we wait till June, July.
I just don't think that I think we're done with sports until football.
Yeah, and honestly, football is probably iffy at the moment too.
I mean,
depending
by the way
on how
that,
it
like,
goes.
it's been looking. I mean, by the way that it's been looking like it's all slowing down. Like we're starting to figure things out more, like, which is fine. So I think by football, I think we'll all be back to normal with sports. But for right now, I don't have any expectations whatsoever.
The one thing I don't think will be normal, though, especially with football, is getting everybody in the crowd in the stadium week in and week out.
I don't think we're gonna have a season.
I don't, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be very hesitant to get into that huge crowd right away. At least a lot of people, especially buying tickets and finding people that are going to go into this packed 80,000 stadium.
But here's the thing. Then what they should do is that what they would have to do, in my opinion, is they would have to only sell maybe certain seats and say so say we're in section 3, seat number 1. The next open seat would be section 3, seat number 4. So like spread everyone out.
Yeah, spread everybody out a little bit.
Can get into it's like first come first serve.
I think that I've had this conversation with a couple people. I don't think that once we have some kind of, I mean, for now, I think we're just going with no fans. But once we have some kind of way where you can go to the doctors and they'll give you a test for like strep, right? And then they're like, okay, you have coronavirus. And then they give you medication that works, that fights it, that's good. And they have a vaccine for it. We're just going to look at the coronavirus like it's another flu. Like, yeah, it sucks to get it. Yeah, there are people that it can kill. But it's going to be something that's kind of like laissez-faire. Like, oh, okay, I have it, whatever. I'll stay home for a week. I'll get better with this medication they gave me, and then I can go back. So I think once we reach that level of protection, really, from this disease, that's when we'll see everything get back to normal, where we can go to concerts and sporting events and all this other stuff, parties, clubs, bars, where we can actually just be in close contact and not be like, oh, my God, I'm going to die from going to this club. Like,
problem is that's like a while away from now. Like the governor of California was even saying that he doesn't even think they're going to have live concerts or like any events like that until like 2021 at the earliest, because like there's a real fear that like if we open the country like in everything pretty much too early, there's could be another outbreak. It could just be another outbreak in the fall. This could just like all kind of start over again. And then where are we? Like we went through all of this these past couple months for what?
Here's how I think this is gonna go down. I don't think the NBA will play another game, and I think their next season will start on Christmas Day. I think and they'll be with fans on Christmas Day to start the 2021 NBA season. I think the football season will happen without fans, and you might see fans back at the Super Bowl, but it's a very good chance you will not. I think the NHL restarts without fans on July 15th and finishes out their season and playoffs in October, and then starts the next season in November. That's currently the player proposed.
November without fans or with fans?
And you were talking
probably without.
And you were talking about the NBA starting on Christmas Day. Would that mean that they would have a shortened season, or would they extend it into July?
a shortened season, probably 60 games, 65.
Like the lockout.
And I actually think it'll be good for the game because I actually think they will see that. And the game, if you want to do a full season, you could have your finals move into July.
Yeah.
And I think the NBA would see that and see there's some, value behind that and would actually seriously consider moving the start of their season towards Christmas permanently, because there's a lot of money. There's more money that perhaps can be made in July than games in August.
Yeah, I could see that. Because August you got MLB playoffs, the start of the NFL, start of the NHL. I mean, does the NBA do more better ratings than NBA or no?
Yeah, no. Which one?
Does the NHL do more ratings?
No,
No.
No.
Okay,
no.
never mind. I don't know.
God, no.
only in certain states.
Certain
and not any
states.
that matter.
Yeah, no.
No, it goes baseball, football, basketball, hockey.
Whoa,
I think it goes
Whoa,
football.
what? The baseball is not in front. No,
Football's first.
I'd say
Chris, no one
football.
watches baseball.
No, what are you kidding?
Okay, but
Look it up.
You just
People
said
watch
that.
baseball. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying baseball is the most viewed sport in America.
You just
Still.
put
you're,
no,
Tuesday.
it's
you're an
not.
idiot.
Yes,
You're
it
an
is.
idiot.
Look it up. I looked it
Total
up the other
fans,
day.
total fans, yes, because they play
Every
double
day.
the schedule of the next highest
No.
sport.
One game.
No,
You look up what? Yes.
I'm
You
looking it up
understand-
right now.
Trish, it's football.
the
Who's
World
watching a 1 p.m.
Series.
game?
The World Series hasn't even done out ratings on Sunday Night Football. against
Baseball's
them.
two,
Trish,
and
it is
baseball's.
football.
I just looked it up. Baseball's 2, and NFL's 1.
Okay, sorry. Flip them.
That's what I
Whatever.
just said.
and
Then
basketball
Trish
top
goes
10.
no.
Basketball's 3, and then hockey obviously 4.
Yeah,
Soccer's
the NBA.
5.
Yeah, tennis is 6.
Golf is 7. That's ball. Then
Tennis
there's
is
WWE.
6. My
Yeah,
God,
then-
I would have
well-
thought golf would have been 6.
No, dude, no one watches golf. I mean,
Where's
I love
NASCAR?
watching
I
golf.
love watching NASCAR. I'm gonna keep going.
NASCAR is 9. NASCAR is 9.
Yeah, it's 9.
And then badminton's 10.
Badminton?
What?
Who watches? Like, how do you even find
Where's
badminton
bowling
games?
on that list?
No, me and Tony have watched badminton before. Do you remember that, Tony?
I play some late night
Everyone-
bets on badminton. Too.
Everyone was at school, or like they were all away. And
Last
Trish
week of
was with-
August.
Trish was with his girlfriend, and it was just me and Tony. And I'm like, "Yo, do you want to hang out?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing anything." I was like, "Word." I go over to his house, and I'm there until 3:00 in the morning, watching rock climbing, badminton,
Oh my
and the
God.
strongman competitions.
Oh, don't forget week 0 of the Hawaii football season.
We did watch that too.
Yeah.
Yes, week 0 was electric. They were
Yeah,
playing Arizona. We were chasing the game all night.
right.
Oh, can I also ask, where does the
allegedly.
log competition fall on this scale?
The log competition would be with the strongman competition. So,
What's
don't
the
worry.
bottom?
it's true.
What's the bottom sport on the list you have?
The rock climbing kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of stupid. Tony, was rock climbing not stupid?
I mean, the ones where it was like a race between two people, it wasn't that stupid. Like
I
that
have
was
no
kind
idea
of
what
fun
that
to
is.
watch, especially when
Hold on,
somebody
were
fell
there
off the
any
wall.
like free-form climbers where they don't wear any protective harnesses?
Free
I'm sure
Oh,
they
come on.
all.
No,
Yeah.
okay, no. Like the rock climbing was like indoors,
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
they just like
stupid.
all they did was like chalk up their hand and they had like climbed the wall and like hit a bell and everyone was like freaking out. Like no one was able to accomplish it. Like it was literally physically impossible. Then
Kyle,
the
I'd like to
badminton
see you try.
there's no shot I could, but I'm just saying, like, if you're a climber, like, you should be better at it. But
especially if
the
you're nationally
badminton-
ranked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you think you'd be
the
able to hit that
badminton was
bell?
electric. It was like a fast-paced, like tennis. It was awesome.
Badminton's intense.
I could see that. People that
I
are
love the
really
Olympics.
good.
And then
The Olympics aren't happening this year. Fuck.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be nothing.
Got pushed to
yeah.
next year.
Oh, and
Dick Pound made the choice.
that's
Dick
such a
Pound did
great
make the
name,
choice.
Executive
dude. That's a hell of a name,
Dick Pound, when he needs to lay down the law, he lays down the law.
dude. That's a sex joke, classic. Oh, and the
I mean-
strongman competition that was pretty fire too. They were like flipping logs and like
They got to
They
pick up
were,
railroad ties.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were
Carry 'em?
picking up railroad ties in each arm and were like running.
That's
and
crazy.
Like, it was bananas.
I love the
Then they would
Atlas
have to
Stone
take-
competition.
Yeah. So then they'd have to take the Atlas stone and they'd have to like stack them on top of each other. It was awesome.
Those things are
And then once
crazy.
they're done, they're like screaming and then everyone like slaps them in the face. Like it's fucking sick.
Yeah, but have you seen
Oh,
what those
it
guys
fires
look
me
like after? They're all
Yeah, dude,
purple
they're
and
like-
blue because they rip every muscle in their body doing the shit.
I mean, Trish, it's what you look like. I mean, come on.
That's fair.
The NFL draft is happening Thursday. Is there
Excited.
anyone here that thinks something major is going to happen, like Burrow won't go
Giants-
1 or something like that?
The
Giants
Giants
aren't
are
taking
gonna
Herbert.
trade.
The
Giants.
system glitches and the Bengals take Tua by mistake.
Yo, if they,
They
actually
don't get a
take Tua,
do-over.
That would be so bad, dude.
There's teams right now that have Tua 4th on their draft board because of injury concerns, with that hip.
Dude,
Yeah.
I I don't think he's going to be a good NFL QB anyways. Like, I don't
Yeah,
Do
see
you
it.
I
have
feel
him
like-
higher than Herbert?
I like
no,
Herbert, man.
I think Herbert is going to be higher. I think Herbert's going to be better. You know who else I think is getting slept on is Jake Fromm. I think if you put him in the right system, I think he'll be phenomenal.
I think the Saints are going to take Jordan Love with
I've
their
been hearing things about
22nd,
that.
23rd pick.
Jordan Love is going to be either going to be the best pick in the draft or a bust. There's no in between.
Yeah,
He can
exactly.
sling the fucking rock, dude.
If the Giants don't take an O-line in the first round, I'm going to kill myself.
They're gonna. There's no way they don't.
What if you took
No,
Simmons?
as much as I-
Isaiah
I
Simmons?
really want
I
Simmons.
would love to have Isaiah Simmons. I mean, that's who I want.
Yeah.
Unless Chase Young somehow falls. Isaiah Simmons is who I want. But I understand you need an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
We do. We haven't had a
Helps.
good
You gotta-
offensive lineman in years.
Also
You got to
helped
give
your last
Danny
two draft
Dimes a
picks.
chance.
Not even Danny Dimes. We need freaking Saquon Barkley to have a hole to run through
For
Yeah,
real.
that's fair.
instead of throwing it
Absolutely.
over into the flat every other time.
I mean,
I was-
honestly, you guys kind of need. In my opinion, you guys need weapons, but the same thing with the Rams. Like the Rams just traded away Brandon Cooks, which I'm happy with. Like I'm fine. But I was thinking like I wanted them to trade back in the first round, their second round picks. But the draft is so wide receiver heavy. You can
Yeah.
get solid dudes in the
Yeah.
second and third round. Like that
Easily.
kid from Colorado, Laviska Shenault. He was like a top 3 wide receiver to start the year, and then like some injury concerns and shit like that. So now it's falling back in the second and third rounds. And if someone can snag him, he's going to be. He had comparisons to like Juju, like a late round guy. Who's just
The
gonna-
Giants can be in that range, especially if they
Yeah.
trade back, which does look like that.
I think they will. I think they will. It
They'll
makes
accumulate
the most
them.
sense for them to do.
You guys see who do you guys see the Patriots getting? A quarterback?
Yeah.
No, I think they wait a little bit to get a quarterback. I saw a mock draft where they took Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I can
can
see that.
But Jalen Hurts also can't throw the ball past like 15 yards accurately. But
Don't act like that. Belichick don't need that.
No.
Just dump it
that's
off
what I'm
to him.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like he's fine.
Slant routes, like anything like that. That's what they live off of.
I think they're gonna ride with Stidham this year. I don't know. I feel like Bill.
I think the Patriots. I think the Patriots tank and they go for Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
It's gonna be between them and Jags if they do
Yeah.
that.
I think the Pats are going to bring
but
in Andy Dalton. Or
I
Cam
don't
Newton.
see Belichick wanting to tank though. I see him wanting to
No,
try and win
he-
games without Brady.
He thinks about the future. That's the thing. Like he thinks about the future. I think they'll be. Trust me, they'll be fine. As long as
I also
Belichick's
think-
there, they'll be fine.
I think Stidham could be the guy there.
That's what I've been hearing too.
It's a Belichick pick. He can do anything with anything. I mean,
Yeah.
he went 10-6 with Matt Castle for God's sake.
Yeah.
I don't see
Less than a
him
minute,
giving
Tony,
up
in this
that
chat.
easy.
Yeah, I know. I see it. I see it.
Just like dropping, like I don't see them tanking on purpose. The Pats have like a long history now where they've just been playoff
Good.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
teams. Where
Well-
I think he wants to show, look, I can do it without Brady. I can.
That's
win
what
a
I'm
Super
saying.
Bowl.
He could do well. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl in the next 1 or 2, 3 years, but
No, I know,
They're
but
not
I
going to win it
well,
for the next couple. The football gods are no longer with them.
I don't know. I
Surprised
don't
that
think he
somehow
can count
makes his
them
way
out.
back.
you stay that, and then Stidham is bringing them to the Super Bowl this year.
World
Jesus.
Series, huh?
Yeah.
Just
Sorry, I got
throw some
baseball
shit
on the
at the
mind.
can.
Does
Belichick.
anyone think Tom Brady's going to take the Bucks to the Super Bowl?
Do I think Tom
The-
Brady is going to lead the Bucks to the Super Bowl? No. Can he? Yes, he can. But he's not
Definitely
going.
can.
I think it matters
Yeah.
on whether Drew.
I can also
Drew Brees plays.
I can also do 8 backflips. Will I? No. I don't know how. He
That's
can't.
because okay, so you
Yeah.
can't. No, wait, you literally can't.
All right. That
No,
was a
but
bad.
I mean, I think that Tom Brady honestly could bring that team to greatness because they did good with Jameis Winston throwing 900,000 picks. So I think he can. Tom Brady, if not throwing that many picks, will do a lot better on that team.
It is a crime Jameis Winston doesn't have a job right now.
Jameis
Yeah.
Winston was
He
all.
got
I mean,
laser eye
you
surgery. He's
think
going to
about
be he's going to be
if
top
you
of his
think
game.
about it,
He's going to be better than Peyton.
I want you.
Right.
I want you guys to picture this. If he was the same quarterback, but threw half the interceptions that he did, he would be a top 3 quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, 100%.
100%.
Instead,
me
he's
I'm
Jameis
wrong.
Winston.
The guy throws exactly because he couldn't see, but now he can.
Yeah.
All right,
We
hold on.
think that's
Second
the
and 10 right
I'm
now
surprised
for why.
Belichick hasn't
How-
called yet.
how could you be a quarterback and not see? I don't understand that.
Think about it. He threw 30 touchdowns without being able to see.
Yeah.
I understand.
Now he
But,
can.
like, if you're going to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, like, are you just guessing every time you throw the ball with pinpoint accuracy?
Guess
Like,
I
just
am.
get the
It's
ball
called
there
Mike
perfectly.
Evans. It is called Mike Evans.
And
That's
Chris
true.
Godwin.
All you got to do is throw it up.
There's a tall guy down there. Just throw it up. Brady's going to love Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to be like his Randy Moss, except Mike Evans isn't old. But you know what's crazy, though, is that when Tom Brady had like a good wide receiver like Randy Moss, like an actual wide receiver,
They
he
lost to the
turned
Giants.
Randy Moss into like the best wide receiver in the league that year.
They lost to
I
the Giants.
understand that, but he's still like, Tony, it's not the point I'm making. I'm glad we can talk about your Super Bowl. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm making is that now that he finally has like a real wide receiver who's in his front, and Chris Godwin, by the way, they're gonna. I think their offense is gonna be insane. If they had any sort of a run game, they'd be set.
Yeah.
But they don't.
I was-
The Patriots
you know,
haven't had a huge run game either. So, like,
Well,
it's not a huge
but you have
difference
to
from.
understand that's the way that their offense ran. But I'm saying is now they know they're just going to throw the ball every time. Because the thing with the Patriots is that they could still run the ball, but the Buccaneers are not the Patriots. You
Yeah.
know?
I hope
You-
Sunday Night
yeah.
Football opens this year. Bucks Saints in the dome.
That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
sick.
That'd be awesome.
Interesting. Did you guys
That would
see
be-
what BR Gridiron posted the other day? It was a trade
Bleacher
from the
Report
99
sucks.
draft. No, but it was a trade from
Oh,
the
the
99
Ricky
draft where
Williams trade.
Washington received.
Yeah, you've never seen
No,
that?
it was Washington received like a bajillion picks for the first
Yeah, you
overall.
did.
pick.
Their
Yeah,
entire
the Saints
99
drafted
I
Williams.
think I forget who the coach was, but
Ditka.
at the time,
Yeah, it was.
who was it?
Ditka.
Ditka.
He's the coach of the Saints.
Yeah, Ditka traded away literally his whole entire draft for Ricky
For that
Williams.
one pick, yeah. And then
Which
the
is- which
Washington
fucked-
didn't even do anything with it.
It's because they're Washington.
No,
It
yeah,
is
that's the
still
thing. But
shit.
here's the thing is that fucked up Ricky Williams because that put so much like pressure on him because they were like they just traded away their whole entire draft just for me. You know how mental that has to
Oh,
be
yeah.
for someone.
Speaking of draft trades, I heard perhaps one of the greatest stories ever from Jeff Fisher the other day. Kyle, I know you
Oh,
hate Jeff Fisher, but
Fuck Jeff Fisher. He
so
sucks.
it's the first game. It's the first game between Washington and the Rams after the RG3 trade.
Oh, God.
yeah,
And
dude, that was by the way, that was the worst trade ever.
the captains that Jeff Fisher sent out for the coin toss were all the players that were drafted with the picks from the RG3 trade.
Yeah, I knew that. I
That
heard
is sick.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
kind of a
amazing.
savage move. Don't get
Yeah,
me
that is
wrong,
a savage
but,
move.
But fuck Jeff Fisher, he sucks. Dude, Nevada's pass defense is gross.
Playing a game from like 10 years ago.
Give me a play-by-play.
All right, here we go. All right, hold on. Am I gonna punt on my own 16?
No.
No.
Scush Daddy McQueen. That's my coach's name.
You're
We
fourth
like
and
to
what?
go- We're it's 4th and 2. I'm gonna go to
You
the
got it.
shotgun pass. All right, we're gonna go with cross week flood. So right now, okay, well my backup quarterback is now in the game because my starting quarterback just got bursitis in his elbow. So that's not good.
What?
Don't even know what that is. I think that means that is hold on. He's about to run for the first down. Oh, nope, throws it away. Rolled out, got the running back for a first down. Let's
It
go.
went to throwing it away on 4th to first down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. Elbow bursitis. Chris Anderson has a minor injury. Will return to the game later, but will you like to keep no, fuck Chris Anderson. That sucks.
All right. Who watched The Last Dance last night?
Oh,
I
dude,
did.
it was
That was
awesome.
amazing.
Watched part of it.
Dude, I also like how
Whoa. Trish, you didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it either.
No, I wasn't up.
Zach, you
What?
didn't watch
Guys.
it?
No, I didn't. I was going to watch it
Nice.
later on.
Oh
Watch it
my!
tonight.
it was so good. It was
Isn't it like
I
a-
Michael Jordan.
I like how they
Isn't it
did-
like a 10-part thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it
here's
will
the
be.
thing. I like how they had a station where it was like the uncut, like raw version where they were
Yeah,
cussing.
ESPN
And
was
another one
cussing.
where it's, I know. I think that's actually good because it shows it's not just some
Bullshit
almost
documentary.
like some bullshit documentary. Yeah.
I ask you this: is Jerry Krause the worst general manager ever? Now
Yes.
listen, I say that knowing
He's
that
such
any
a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
general manager can just come right in and fuck up a team. That's
I know.
But Michael
Dude,
Jordan
how-
said, "I'm not playing for any other coach." You would think if Michael Jordan says that, well, we might as well keep Phil Jackson around. No,
Dude,
Jerry
and
Krause
also,
goes, I can
how
do
can
this.
how do you even have the mental capacity to say that you're rebuilding when you have Michael Jordan? You don't rebuild with
Yeah.
Michael
You
Jordan.
just won 3 straight championships.
Exactly. Why would
I
you
just-
want to rebuild?
That's ridiculous.
I just don't
Oh
get
my
the
It might be the
logic.
worst move ever in the history of the NBA.
I just don't get the
Yes.
logic in the meeting either because I think it was Jerry Krause. He said in the meeting with Phil, "I don't care if you win all 82 games after this year, you are done."
Yeah, literally.
What? Like
I don't get why
Yeah,
the
all right.
higher
Just won
ups didn't
5
just say
rings.
you're fired to the GM.
No, well, because he like made a deal with him when he because Tom he when he's on contract, like you can't just fire him.
No, you can just fire him.
Yeah, you can just
Good.
fire a general manager.
You just have
You
to
have to
pay
pay him
his salary.
severance, but yeah.
Yeah.
But here's
Yeah,
but here's
you
the
could
thing
just
is that
fire
And that's
the
worth
owner-
it when,
the owner
especially you're
really
coming off
liked
a
him.
three-peat.
The owner like
very
really
true.
liked him apparently.
I mean, here's the thing. He made good moves. He wasn't an idiot. I mean, like we know he got, like all those talented guys around Jordan. He made the trade for Pippen to begin with, so he can't have been
He-
terrible. It's just he like had an ego, and that's what.
Yeah, he was just upset he wasn't getting any credit.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. When you say like how much of an idiot are you when you try and take like when you try and steal the glory for like all these players? Like how can you say that players don't win championships that organizations do? Like,
Players are the
you
most
out there
important
putting
aspect
up
of the team.
45? Are you out there putting up 45 points a night with bums like fucking Ron Harper? Like, are you serious?
I
Listen,
laughed
the
I know he
next
lives in
episode-
Franklin Lakes.
The next episode is going to be the Dennis Rodman episode.
I
Dude,
laughed
I'm
so
kinda
hard.
hyped
I
for
am
that.
so excited for Dennis Rodman. He's because like Scottie Pippen, when I was like, oh whatever, like yeah, cool story. Like Dennis Rodman's gonna say some fucked up shit.
Pippen
Oh,
signed that 7-year, $18 million contract. And eventually he did get his payday with Portland. And he ended up making more money in his NBA career than Michael Jordan did when it comes to player salary. Obviously not with advertising
I was
or anything.
I know I was about to say Jordan's worth like $3
Yeah.
billion.
But you got to understand the situation Scottie Pippen was in when he agreed to the 7-year, $18 million contract. His dad had the stroke. His brother was paralyzed,
Yeah,
I believe
paralyzed.
it was. Yeah. So and he needed to make sure that there was money going back home to care for these people.
That's what I was trying to explain to my
yeah.
dad because he was like, oh, I just threw a pick. Shit. Because he was like, why would a player like that? That's pick six. I'm an idiot. That's the worst throw ever. Hold on. We stopped him. We stopped him at the 3. I don't play defense. I sim it. Anyways, because that's what I was trying to explain like my dad because he was like, why would he sign a contract like that? And then I was like, well, you have to understand he had like 11 brothers and sisters, and he was like dirt poor.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
that's right.
Yeah,
So
I
episode
know.
3 is this. Trish, you got to watch 1 and 2 and then watch 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
So
like-
how can I watch 1 and 2?
It's on the ESPN app.
Oh, okay.
On
Yeah.
ESPN Plus.
Yep.
All right,
Not
good.
on
I'm in
Plus.
your ESPN Plus, so we're
Yeah,
good.
I know.
Wait, is it on
Tony, I'm gonna
ESPN
need that
Plus? It
password
wasn't
so I can
last
watch
night.
it.
Well,
What'd
the
you say,
replay is
Matt?
on ESPN Plus.
Oh, okay, cool.
Trish, you got to watch it. I don't know how you saw all those commercials and just didn't watch it. It was literally a commercial for everything on television.
I didn't see it.
It was on for though. I saw commercials like every day for it.
Did you guys see
Dude,
that?
and the amount of like Sports Center tweets and like posts on like their Instagram about it too. Like I don't know how.
You also, if you follow any athletes on social media anywhere, you couldn't get away from it because it's all they were talking about.
Yeah.
There was not another thing that they were talking about yesterday.
I literally only heard about it once on WFAN.
Jesus.
What? Dude, it's the only thing sports related airing right now. Like,
Yeah, I didn't.
Pretty
I didn't
much.
They
see
moved
it.
up the premiere of it
Because
just
of the coronavirus.
because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I heard that. I heard it was supposed to premiere in like June or something.
Yeah.
And then the guys on the fan were complaining. They were saying, "You have 10 episodes. Why wouldn't you just release it one after another every single night for 10 nights?
You'd
And
rather
just
have
do a
people
whole
like
fucking thing."
you'd rather have
Money.
money, and you'd rather have people prolong it and watch it every week because people would be
are
like
binging right
craving.
now.
People would be craving for it. So
Right, but this is supposed to end in what, 5 weeks?
yeah,
What if the world's back to normal in 5 weeks?
People are still gonna
Will not
watch
people
it
are
on
still
Sunday
gonna
night.
watch it. Yeah,
Guarantee
Confirmed
it.
will not be.
because sports aren't just gonna just start happening in 3-4 weeks.
Oh my god.
It's not gonna
All
just
right.
like start one day.
Let's wrap up this episode. Let's get to Zach's baseball trivia question. We had one. Zach, you give us the answers from the last ones.
Well, I
Yeah.
only we only did one question off of the last podcast, but I could give you the answer for the last one. So the last question from the last episode was in what city? Oh, Kyle, if you want to answer this, if you want to guess real quick, in
Right,
what
hold on.
city?
Let me run this play.
All right.
It's just
Hold
gonna
on.
be one this play.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. We're scrambling. Wow, he's slow. All right, continue. He's a
So-
pocket passer.
This was the
Don't know
trivia
much
question.
about my backup.
This was the trivia question from last podcast. In what city was a crowd of 52,608 allowed in for free after to a game after the 1981 strike?
Baltimore.
It was San Diego, which is surprising.
All right, Zach, what's your question this week?
So this week, what year did the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays begin play in the American League? Give me the year.
Okay.
Can't look
So
it up.
we'll-
Kyle, I
we'll
see
come-
your computer on
We'll
your
come
glasses.
back. We will come back with an answer
Yeah,
for that
because
next episode.
because
You got to give me your guesses right now.
what do you mean it's my computer? This is how I'm communicating with you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna say
I'm
gonna
literally
say
playing Xbox.
Just give
I'm
me
gonna
a
say
year.
1978.
All right.
Did I get it?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, okay.
It sounds pretty
Everybody.
solid to me.
I'm gonna go.
Hey, wait, what,
4.
74. All right.
1970. Can I? Sorry, Trish, you go, please.
I was gonna guess 1984. That's my guess.
That's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too late.
They won a World Series in '91. You can't do that in 7 years.
I'm gonna go 1977.
I'll go with
No,
1976.
Wow, Tom, real original. Buddy.
They used to play
Yeah.
Well, you
outdoors.
went
I know that
under-
much. They used
I
to
know.
play
I'm totally
outdoors.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't
So-
play in the Blue Jays. I think didn't. There
They didn't-
wasn't.
They didn't build
played
the Sky
outside.
Dome yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they were building the Sky Dome. All right, so that's going to be the episode. We have our Players on Weird Teams tournament going on. And in the Sweet 16, we have in the NHL bracket, NHL division of it, we got Howe on the Whalers, number 1 Howe on the Whalers versus number 4 Messier on the Canucks, and number 14 Leach on the Maple Leafs versus number 2 Gretzky on the Blues. In the NBA division, we have number 1 Jordan on the Wizards versus number 5 Iverson on the Grizzlies, and number 11 D Wade on the Cavs versus number 2 Hakeem Olajuwon on the Raptors. In the MLB division, we have number 2 Hank Aaron on the Brewers versus number 3 Mike Piazza on the Marlins, and number 1 Babe Ruth on the Boston Braves versus number 5 Pete Rose on the Montreal Expos. And then in the NFL division, it's number 1 Emmitt Smith on Cardinals versus number 5 Jerry Rice on the Seahawks, and then number 3 Randy Moss on the Titans versus number 7 Deion Sanders on the Ravens. We also want to talk to you today about our new podcast coming out. Me, Tyler Dyes, another friend of the show, Eric Johnson, going to be doing it. It's called Touch Icing. It will be premiering in May, and that's just going to be solely hockey. If you want to fill your hockey fix, you'll be able to do that. All information will be on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter site, and then it'll be on its own Instagram site as well. And before we go here, I got a little bit of breaking news for y'all. Just tell me how you feel. This is from, everywhere's reporting it now, CNN, the Daily News. There are reports based on United States intelligence that Kim Jong-un is in grave danger after surgery.
That'd be fucking
Literally.
awesome.
Be something.
That's
I could-
crazy.
That'd be
I could
pretty
literally care less because Kevin Anderson just threw a bullet for a
There it
touchdown.
is. Yep.
That's about
Let's
right.
go Rainbow
Hold on.
Warriors.
Can I just say I can see in the next couple months if that happens, if Kim Jong Un dies, North and South Korea just become Korea again.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
South takes over the North now.
Does he have like a
Exactly.
son or like anyone that would take
No.
I
over
don't
him
think
afterward?
so.
I don't think he has an heir, and I don't even think does he have a brother? He killed his brother, didn't
He
he?
killed his
Yeah, I
brother,
think
but I
he
think he
did.
has another one.
I think that whoever
I know
else
he
takes
I
over
know he
is
has
just going
a
to realize
sister, but that probably wouldn't be allowed.
no.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a
Dude,
power
there's no
struggle,
way
and
that
South
Kim-
Korea sees their chance, and they just boom take it.
All right, so thanks
Dude,
everybody
there's
for
no way
watching.
that Kimmy Jong fucks. There's no way. So no
What
way
was
that's the
that?
son, right?
Who?
There's no way
What?
Kimmy Jong fucks.
Okay.
Give me John.
You know,
Good job.
Kimmy Jong. I know him as KJ personally.
Right.
Okay.
Personally,
They go way back
Yeah, I've known him since '73.
since he was on the University of Hawaii.
73.
Yep. Yeah,
The
he used to
birth
play
of the Blue
quarterback for
Jays.
University
Yeah.
of Hawaii.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for listening or watching, however you tuned into this episode. We will be back again this weekend to talk about the NFL draft and what happened there. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again shortly.